If you are sitting here and watching this video, you have already won the most brutal and calculated survival lottery in human history. You didn't win wealth, nor did you win fame. You won the right to survive past your 5th birthday. In the modern world, a 5th birthday means balloons and laughter. But 50,000 years ago, it was a boundary line between life and death. If a prehistoric child could somehow manage to blow out their metaphorical 5th birthday candle, their chances of living a long and incredibly healthy life skyrocketed. They could easily live to 60, 70, or even 80 years old, possessing teeth without a single cavity, bones denser than ours, and an immune system as tough as steel. But nearly half of the human race never made it to that line. Before the age of 5, the world was a meat grinder. History textbooks often tell us that ancient humans died young, but our ancestors didn't just drop dead at 30, they died at 2, at 3, and at 4. Close your eyes and look deep into the dark of the past. A small, nomadic tribe huddles around a dying fire inside a stone cave. Inside, a mother cradles her newborn child, but deep down, she knows this baby is just a ghost. Many tribes didn't even bother naming their children at birth. We imagine cinematic, dramatic dangers, a saber-toothed tiger, a blizzard, a bloody raid. But those visible terrors were not the real monsters. If you look closely at the teeth of ancient children, something was hunting them from the inside out. Something silent and deeply cruel. The danger didn't begin at birth. They were protected by a flawless biological armor, their mother's milk. But then, everything changed. Around the age of 2 or 3, it was the moment of the great decoupling. Scientists call this the weaning period, but in reality, it was a terrifying biological cliff. Suddenly, a toddler with a fragile immune system was thrown into the dirt. Every single mouthful of food or sip of water became a high-stakes game of Russian roulette. A simple bout of diarrhea was an absolute death sentence. Their internal organs would shut down in the dark corners of the cave, while the entire tribe stood by, completely helpless. But that wasn't the worst part. Their bodies entered a state of chronic stress. Energy that should have been used for growth was instead entirely drained to fight off constant parasitic infections. The microscopic grooves on their teeth grew wider. Their bones and joints weakened. The child was trapped in a 5-year-long life-or-death race. If their genetic makeup possessed even a single microscopic flaw, the filter of the Stone Age would find it, and it would crush them. But then, a miracle happened to the ones who survived. If a child could somehow endure the parasite attacks, outlast the contaminated water, and navigate the treacherous cliff of weaning, if they could reach that magical 5-year milestone, the narrative completely flipped. They didn't just survive. They became nearly invincible. By age 5, the human immune system had completed its first and most brutal crash course. It had cataloged environmental threats. Bones hardened. The brain reached 90% of its adult size. The child had successfully run the meat grinder, and their reward was a body far superior to anything we possess in the modern era. Tempered through this fierce filter, the surviving adults were biological masterpieces. They did not suffer from diabetes or cardiovascular diseases, and their joints remained intact into old age. They paid for their health with the blood of their fallen siblings. This truth forces us to confront a deep, existential discomfort. This story doesn't really belong to ancient history. It is a story about us. Look at the world we have constructed today. We have completely dismantled that ancient filter. Through the miracles of clean water, antibiotics, and sterile medicine, we ensure that nearly every child gets to blow out their 5th birthday candle. We have smashed the meat grinder. And that is a beautiful, humane triumph for mankind. But in doing so, we have inadvertently created a profound biological paradox. By saving everyone, we have made the human gene pool fragile. We no longer force our DNA to run that brutal 5-year race. Weak genes survive alongside the strong, continuing to be passed down from generation to generation. We have traded a short, brutal, but hyper-healthy existence of the past for a long, comfortable, yet medicated survival in the present. We live in a world where we no longer have to fear the water we drink or the dirt we touch as toddlers. But we pay for that safety later in life by slowly rotting away from chronic illnesses. Every time you look in the mirror, you are looking at the final product of a million-year-old war. You are the descendant of the few who looked into the abyss of the deadliest birthday in human history without blinking. Your ancestors were the ones who stood on the bodies of their fallen brothers and sisters and crossed the threshold of 5 years old. We have built a civilization out of the desire to protect the vulnerable. We have paved over the wild and erected walls against nature. And we have turned the terrifying birthday of the past into a celebration of life. But when you blow out the candles on your next birthday, remember the invisible debt you carry. We didn't defeat the laws of nature, we just postponed them. And the peace we enjoy today is a luxury paid for by the blood of countless, nameless children.